into the crime. Murder Man podcast. Andy got the facts. Amanda spitting fast. Delve into the night. Mysteries unfold. Cold cases sitting deep. Not a story told.
You must be wicked smart or something.
No, ChatGPT is though.
What do you think about ChatGPT? Like, it's cool to use ChatGPT, right?
Yeah, because it's helping me learn it. It's not just like giving you answers. It's breaking shit down. You know, it breaks it down to the most simple form so that you can figure it out. It does so much better than a teacher.
I had to use ChatGPT in group therapy because this lady's talking nonsense about cognitive dissonance and all that, and I had to like keep up with ChatGPT. It's kind of embarrassing.
What? What do you mean? You were doing that during group? What are you talking about?
She's talking about cognitive dissonance and asked people for examples, and I just didn't understand any of that. So I had to use ChatGPT because I guess I didn't do my homework. But fuck that. I'm not going to therapy to do homework ever.
No, you're supposed to be able to just listen if you want to anyway. Yeah,
that's like your teacher that won't teach.
Well, yeah, this teacher, by the way, hopefully she never listens to us because she says she'll fail you if you use AI. And it's like, I want to use it like I'm using Google to learn. You know what I mean? I'm using it so I can like figure shit out because, lady, you don't help us. The worst teacher I've ever come across. She doesn't even fucking help. She actually said, if anyone, if you're not getting this, you should get a tutor. And you're like, what?
Isn't she the fucking tutor?
Yeah, you're the tutor, lady. So, fuck
How old
you.
is she, 100?
I looked at her picture just to see because I like to look at people's pictures to see if I think they look like a bitch.
Oh, does she look like a bitch?
Yeah. She looks like she knows everything.
You know who?
She's probably in her 50s.
You know who else looks like a fucking bitch?
Who is it?
Scamanda Riley.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about her first impression?
I mean, psychopath, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I went into watching that completely blind to what it was. I didn't know anything about it. I don't know about you.
Nah, I had known a little bit about the podcast.
Okay. Well, I didn't know her whole story and like what all she did to be in trouble until I watched. What is it? Was it on Hulu?
I don't remember.
I think so. Yeah, I didn't know any of that. So
completely
when I
bizarre.
went into it, I thought maybe she really was a little sick and then she like banked on that. But she wasn't sick at all. So let's take it back and tell people what we're talking about. Amanda Riley. Who is she?
All right. So Amanda Riley is that chick who faked cancer to start a website where she blogged about it to then create another website to collect donations. And long story short, she racked up over 100K in donations under the fraudulent pretense of having cancer. But what's really crazy about that is the extent and the effort she went to fake her cancer. Like, this bitch has like hospital pictures. She's got pics and IVs in her arm. I mean,
I thought about that and I was thinking, it's really easy to do that anyway if you're at the hospital a lot, or if say you even go to the doctor's office, you can take a picture. Like if you're in a gown at all. Say even I go to like fertility appointments or whatever, you put a gown on every time. It's easy to just snap a picture, right? Or say you're even getting your blood taken, which takes 20 seconds. Take a picture of that. That's another one.
Right.
So she has all these photos, but you would never question someone like that. Like you would always just think, oh, she's sick. She has something going on. She shaved her head. She has cancer. But I think she got a lot more than just the 100,000 you're talking about. I think she got so much attention, but she also got like food. Think of all the shit that people just brought them.
Well, Chili's even did a fundraiser, like Chili's corporate, where they gave like 20% of the bill in the 4 restaurants in the Bay Area to her cause. But you're right.
So much.
That $100,000 that we're talking about, that was only like in the IRS known wire frauds that she committed with the website. So think about all the cash and the other methods of her collecting donations. Yeah. And to your point, gifts and things like that. I mean,
it went really deep. So when which I think that you missed this whole part, but in the beginning, it was talking about her husband's name is Corey Riley.
Yeah.
And he met...
Who is also a shithead, by the way, because he totally...
Oh, for sure. For sure. He met Amanda Riley because she came over as like a 21, 22-year-old to teach his kid from his first marriage dance because I guess the kid had been sick or something, and she would come to the house and teach them dance. It was two little girls. One little girl had cancer actually, and I think that's where she got this whole idea, by the
Oh
way.
my God.
Yeah,
Shut up.
one of the little girls was a friend of the other one, and she had cancer, so they wanted someone to come and teach dance to them at home because the girl was so sick she couldn't go to classes. So they
Trolling that
hired
little
this
girl.
girl. Yeah, yeah. So they hired her to come over and teach dance and cheerleading and things like that for them to have fun. And she ended up, I don't know if it's stealing, but she ended up, yeah, I mean, Corey decided to be with her, the younger teacher, and leave his wife.
Wow. So she was a teacher, a dance teacher, comes over, starts trolling that little girl, steals her story, and then the rest as we know it. Now, she's also a real teacher, which is kind of scary because she actually went to college and she taught special education for a while. Um,
Hmm.
which, oh my God. And
I mean, she should never be able to teach special ed kids. I mean, what a disaster.
what a disaster. And even going back to when she was a kid, all of her childhood friends say she was a mega bitch and liar.
Yeah, even as a little girl, she was a liar. Like, remember when they said she would tell people in like second, third grade, we have Disney tickets, our family, like, passes all year. We can go anytime we want. Like, she would just make up silly little lies and no one cared because they were stupid. But now they look back at it and they're like, oh, she was always a liar.
Yeah, kids do that kind of stuff, so you probably don't read into it right at the beginning, but then you're like, yeah, I mean, she's been lying since day one. That's what she does. That's what she does best. She's a con person.
Yeah, and apparently she's really like magnetic. People like her right away. She has that thing about her where people trust and like her right away. And I didn't feel that.
No, but
Like
you,
just watching it, I don't know. There was something about her that skeeved me out.
and you could tell though that like the church was feeling her because she was an active member of the mega church, the family community church with thousands of people. And like
Yeah.
her and Corey like befriended the pastor and his family, and they were basically like the Tom Cruise of this church with like celebrity like status. And then
Yeah,
of
like
course,
Scientology. Is that what you mean, like Scientology type?
yeah, exactly. And like she was the
Yeah.
celebrity like Tom Cruise is with Scientology, which is we should definitely do an episode or two on Scientology, by the way.
Oh yeah.
True crime if I've ever, you
It's the
know.
craziest. I love that shit. Um, yeah, the church had like 5,000 people, and you're right, they became such celebrity type people there. They would let them come on stage all the time and just give speeches and talk. I'm like, why are they talking all the time to this group of people there at church? And like I told you before, she was like trying to have mic drop moments on stage. Like she was some like really big TED Talk speaker.
TED Talk.
Yeah, that's how she acted. I don't know.
Yeah, man, I don't understand how she gained such a following because when you watch her, you're like, wow, that's total bullshit. But I guess when you're in a cult, like a church cult, things are all
Yeah.
different.
And we're also watching, not objectively, we're watching something about a scam. So we're not going into it like, oh, this person might be good. We're like, oh, this person's bad.
Yeah, but you know they're lying, Amanda. And then you see the shit she pulls off with those, like you said, those mic drop moments, and she goes on to
Hmm.
preach because
Yeah. So did you read her blog? Because I didn't. I want to get into that. Maybe we can do a couple episodes on this. But like
I
her
did,
whole blog,
I did.
apparently it's huge and long, right?
I skimmed through some of the important parts that like I had seen written about in other articles and things like that. And it, like I said, it's so crazy to see the level she went through to perpetrate this fraud. The
Jesus.
shaved heads and all those pictures. And what's really sad is like she just tricked all these other mothers and women with cancer into like sharing their stories. Um, and she did it
Yeah.
all for selfish reasons.
Didn't she have like a special sort of blood cancer or something?
Well, she first claimed that she had stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma 3
Hmm.
days after having a new baby. And that's when she started the blog because she wanted to help other people by sharing her story. Isn't that fucking sweet?
She was like getting it going, like testing the waters.
Oh yeah. And I mean,
Hmm.
she even pretended to be in chemo, like aggressive chemotherapy. So that takes a lot of work. And like you said, it takes a lot of resources. Like you have to sneak your way into the oncology ward and things like that to accomplish some of the
Or
photos she got.
I don't think so. I think you sneak your way into a chair in the corner in the ER and you have your IV in and it's on the pole because I've dragged that pole to the bathroom. I've been to the hospital so many times. You're sitting there in the corner. If you shave your head and you have an IV in your arm and you have a pole there, it's not hard. Like I really feel like the pictures that she took wouldn't be that hard to take. She just went to a crazy level doing it. She probably went to the doctor in the hospital way too much and they thought she was a psycho.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. And that's why there's like hints of her potentially having Munchausen. But I think that's a bullshit mental illness anyway.
I don't. I disagree with you there, but I think that that's a very real thing. But with
But do you think
her,
it's a mental
I don't know.
illness?
Oh
Because all
yeah.
she's doing is
Keeping
pulling off a
yourself
con.
sick? Yeah, but that she's doing it for
But
money.
but
The
she
other
wasn't
people don't do that.
but she wasn't making herself sick.
Yeah, I said I don't think she has that.
Oh, well then, yeah, no, I was saying I think it's complete bullshit.
Yeah,
She
I was
does
saying
not
I
have it.
think that thing is a real thing though.
I don't know.
Munchausen's it is. It is. If you look into it at all, it is. People they don't want all they want is sympathy from it because they're mentally ill. They don't care about money.
It's just a con, a grift.
Especially the people who want to keep their children sick.
That's
Like
disgusting. That's disgusting.
that's a real thing. Yeah.
It just seems like criminal behavior, not mental illness, but I digress.
Yeah, I would love to talk to what's her name. She would tell you it's real.
Who? Gypsy Rose?
Yeah,
She's my dream guest.
we can have her. She would definitely come on, I think.
We've got to get in her DMs.
She could talk about this, and maybe we could ask her what she thinks about Amanda Riley if she had Munchausen syndrome or if she was just an asshole.
I mean, I
Because
think
she
she was
really
just an
does
asshole.
she believes her mother had it for sure. Like her mother went to such extreme levels to keep her sick. A sane person can't do that.
No, for
That's
sure.
not,
And she
yeah.
actually made her sick, unlike Amanda Riley, who was just faking sick. And then she was faking miracles too, which really pisses me off because she claimed that when she got pregnant again,
Uh-huh.
that she was on an IUD, and it was another miracle because at this point she claims to have stage 4 cancer and she's undergoing chemotherapy, which that becomes an extremely complicated pregnancy. And like stage 4 means it's spread to multiple places in the body. You have weeks or months to live. So
Yeah, and
like,
usually your baby is not going to make that. You know, you're not going to have a baby during that. Some people who are pregnant during stage 4 cancer and they're like very pregnant, they'll like choose the baby or themselves
yeah,
because you can't live. Your body's too weak. And this lady's pretending, like you said, like it reversed her cancer?
it's ridiculous. She claims to have reversed her cancer. So this time, the fake stage 4, she was given 6 to 12 months to live, but said the
Hmm.
pregnancy actually reversed her cancer. Because remember, she's like one of those shitty prophets. Like once the time frame comes and you don't die, now you have to like come up with some fantastical story of how you didn't die.
Oh my God, she sucks.
But people were believing this.
Yeah, everybody.
She even went to the point where she quit her job because of all the fake treatments.
You know what? For her husband to pretend that he didn't know about this is mind-boggling to me.
I
And
mean,
for them to believe him.
he's almost worse than her.
Yeah, because he had to know about this. Think about when she started that blog and when she started like shaving her head and doing these things. You're living with this person. You know they don't have cancer.
100%.
And he went along with this. This happened for years.
I mean, he's a criminal too. He perjured himself. Apparently in bankruptcy court, he like testified, sworn testimony in front of the judge that he was with her
Mm.
in her bedside and stuff through all these treatments, which we now know is bullshit because of her confession and
Yeah,
plea.
bedside in their bedroom.
With the fake oncology signs and
Yeah.
IV bags and all
So
that
maybe he
shit.
was at her bedside.
That's fucking funny.
I'm sure he was.
Okay, you know what's really going to piss you off?
What?
Because, like you're really focused on school and like you've got some big goals and stuff like that, but not only did this chick pretend to have stage 4 cancer and be pregnant, she also claimed that she was working on her PhD in clinical psychology from Stanford.
It's Stanford, right?
I mean, how busy was she?
Yeah, can you imagine? What an what an idiot to even say it. And all these people who believed her pissed me off even more.
I mean, how could you not see that?
I really liked the friend who she kind of clocked her pretty quickly.
Yeah, this Lisa Barry lady.
Wasn't she one of the head people of the church or no?
No, Lisa was just a former friend of hers. So she came out to Lisa, her close friends and family in 2010,
Uh-huh.
saying that she had 4 months to live, and she was borrowing tons of money from them at the time for like co-pays and surgeries and things like that. So, Lisa just kind of went with it, and then in 2012, that's when she came out publicly with stage 3 lymphoma and then stage 4 cancer. Like that's kind of where we are in the story right now.
Mhm.
But apparently she was supposed to get like spinal or fluid from her brain drained one day, and then
From her
just
brain.
and came over Lisa's house and was swimming, and that's when Lisa was like, okay, this is complete and absolute bullshit.
Yep.
So she became the anonymous source who first accused her of faking it.
And that's when Lisa said, you know what? I saw her swimming underwater after having fluid drained off her brain, and all she had was like a little band-aid behind her ear.
Yep.
So that's the moment she and her husband was like, we're cutting her off and we're not talking to her anymore.
Yeah, they're like, we're done with her.
They basically like ghosted her, which I would have done the exact same thing.
Yeah, of course. And then Lisa took it a step further and contacted Nancy Moscatello, who's an investigative reporter and journalist,
Yeah,
who she found on a Facebook site because she was looking to expose cancer fraud.
nice. And it took years of this woman's life to expose her.
Yeah, and like these people, Corey and Scamanda, like their reign never ends. I mean, they even claimed to file bankruptcy. They went to bankruptcy court claiming that they're financially ruined because of cancer medical expenses.
Did that work? Did they file bankruptcy? Did that go through? Yeah,
That's a great question. I actually don't know.
I think it did.
That's even scarier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, like, are we at the part of the story where, she felt found out because things started happening with her friend and then the reporter, so they moved 40 minutes away?
Yeah, and then didn't she start like her life over as a
Yes.
teacher, as an elementary school teacher again?
No, an elementary school principal.
Shut the fuck up.
That's what I was telling you earlier. I was like, do you know how hard it is to get a job as a principal?
Apparently not.
Well, I mean, she's that good of a con.
Yeah.
So she not only decided to start a new life, she didn't go far enough, this fucking idiot. She went down the street, 40 minutes down the street, became a principal of an elementary school, and started the cancer con all over again.
Unbelievable.
And what was so sad about that is she started raising money for her and a child who had cancer at the school as well, or some sort of disease. And she took half of the money
It's fucked up.
when that child needed the money. Yeah.
That's beyond fucked up. That's even next level when you're a school principal raising money for yourself. Who does that? That's kind of gross.
No one.
No one. No
Yeah.
one.
So I think that the Lisa, she found out she was doing that too, and they went after her again.
The hardest thing, though, is like, how do you accuse someone of faking cancer? That's like pulling a crippled guy out of a wheelchair and just saying, walk. I mean, it's so taboo. It's so taboo to do that.
It is, because she did things that were so insane that it would make you like think twice a little, because like I told you before, what she did at that mega church, when she fell to the floor, peed herself, and like was shaking around like she was seizing, and all of the people from the church came over and started praying over her and putting their hands on her, and like I'm like, people, why aren't you calling an ambulance? I don't know what, like I would be pissed.
Oh yeah,
By
what are
the
they going
way.
to do with their prayers?
I don't know, like touching me and shit? Are you kidding me? But yeah, that's what they were doing. But she went so far as to piss herself in the church. But like, who's gonna second guess that? You're like, oh well, I mean, obviously she's sick.
Yeah, no one would go to that extent, and no one would embarrass themselves by pissing themselves in church.
Scamanda did.
Oh my god, how
I
embarrassing!
hate that her name is Amanda.
I kind of love it.
I'm gonna call her Mandy or some shit.
Nah, it's Scamanda. You got to keep it
Okay.
true to the story.
All right, fine.
Yo, did you see that part? Did you hear about the love offering or the money presentation? So Corey and Amanda were invited on stage at that mega church,
Uh,
and all the people in the congressional, what are they called? Whatever.
I don't know. I never went. You did.
I grew up Catholic. I'm still recovering. All of the people went up to the stage and just started throwing money at her like she was a stripper. It was wild. And then she's like collecting all the bills. I mean, just think of how
Yeah,
much money alone that is in like unreported cash.
that's what I'm saying. I bet she got hundreds of thousands of dollars in money for real.
Probably. And I bet she got like
Those,
a ton of those like um things set up, like charities and things set up to
yeah,
help people with all of their payments.
and little gifts from different websites, like people do like for baby showers and shit. They put up little websites for those things. Like I bet she got gifts galore.
I bet she got a ton of gifts.
Yeah. What do you think about those mega churches, by the way?
Don't get me started.
I'm just wondering because I've never been to one. Like they're kind of wild, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're like Christian rock concerts, it looks like Hillsong and all those other mega churches.
Yeah, they're just like rocking out in
But they're
there.
always super creepy and they wear too many jeans. Like, I'm old school, man. I grew up New England Catholic, okay? Irish Catholic. Like, I like my priests to be in like gowns and robes. I don't like this new age shit where they have like head mics and jeans. Um,
Yeah, like flannel shirts. They're just like
yeah, what is that? What is that, Amanda?
they're just being chill about it. That I think that makes it more relatable for people. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
and I'm probably the odd one out, but you know, you asked, so that's what I
Yeah,
think
you want
about it.
that creepy ass priest walking in,
Well, not
like
that creepy as priest. I mean, how
dressed like Elon Musk.
now that we're talking about it, after all the fucking Elon Musk. Oh my God, you're right. Why does he wear a priest's collar?
That's you told me about that. I had to find it. I had to Google it.
It's unbelievable. You
Guys,
saw it though, right?
if you haven't seen it, look up priest collar on Elon Musk. It's hilarious.
It's so creepy. I can't wait
Yeah.
for him to get canceled.
I don't know, man. He's controlling our lives right now, I think.
Speaking, I was going to say about canceling. How has all that shit got canceled and the Catholic Church hasn't?
I know. What are they just leaving them on the back burner?
I don't know. I guess you get a pass if you're a church.
They've always gotten a pass, it feels like.
You know what? Who wouldn't get a pass from me for the last time when this chick started self-administering chemo? Do you remember that?
Yeah. So how did she do that? It was just she acted like it was just a shot, right?
Yeah, she acted like the trial at Columbia sent her the drugs from New York that she would just self-inject because I don't know, they didn't want her to have to travel too far in her condition or some bullshit.
And this moron didn't realize, like the investigative reporter, you can look up trials. They're always public. You could just look them up. And obviously the one she's talking about wasn't even real.
So once again, this is just like lazy, blind believing in her.
I think that she got comfortable, didn't you? She got comfortable with being conned. No one ever questioned her. So she didn't think it through anymore. I
Yeah,
think
you're
she was
right.
just like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No one's going to question me. Why would they?
So the first people to actually look into this was the San Jose Police Department.
Hmm.
After Nancy and Lisa gave them all their information from the investigation.
Hmm.
Um, and she even went as far to send them a forged doctor's note. Like they're not going to figure that out.
Like a school note.
Yeah, yeah. It says so. It said Amanda Riley's under my care for cancer, and that was it.
Yeah. Please excuse Amanda Riley.
Yeah,
You know.
she pissed herself today.
Yeah. It's okay. Give her 5 days.
Oh my
It's-
God.
Did they do anything really though? The police department? Probably not.
Oh yeah, they opened an investigation once they had the fraudulent doctor's note because a crime had been committed there.
Well, good for them. They actually did something.
Yeah, and what happened was they ended up taking this to the IRS because once they realized it was wire fraud, it became a federal crime because collecting donations over the internet is wire fraud. If it's, under false pretense, when she was faking her cancer, of course.
Hmm.
But that's scary. No one wants the fucking IRS on their ass.
No, it sucks. Like, are you kidding me? I bet that scared the shit out of them. And then I see that you wrote something about. Do you know who Judy Ho is?
I know that she's like a neuropsychiatrist.
Okay, but did you know she's Maria Ho's sister?
Shut the fuck up.
I can't believe you didn't know that.
That's Maria's sister, the lady that was
Yeah.
in the.
hmm
Wow, she was the
So
one that suggested Munchausen syndrome.
Dr. Judy Ho, she's a clinical and neuropsychiatrist. She is on tons of the Dateline episodes, if you don't remember. She always gives her opinion, even though she's not like in on the case, she'll give an opinion. She works, I think she has like her own clinic in Los Angeles. So, but yeah, Maria Ho is a poker player, which that's our world, if you didn't know, or it was. My husband's a poker player. Maria Ho is a poker player. Judy Ho, the clinical psychologist psychiatrist, is her sister.
That's wild, man. That's
That's funny,
wild.
right? Mm-hmm.
Super successful, this Dr. Judy Ho.
Oh yeah,
I'm
she's been on
sure.
everything.
I'm sure her family is so proud of her.
Definitely. I mean, I guess. I'm
I'm just being a dick.
and I'm like, what? I don't know what's happening.
I'm just being a dick.
Are they? Maybe they are. She's pretty though, isn't she?
I was just saying, I bet Judy is like the golden child.
How could she not be? She's a fucking doctor. And
Yeah.
look at her.
She is pretty, isn't she?
Yeah, I don't know anything about her, honestly. I've never met her. I don't know.
I was
So
impressed with the way that she spoke, but I wasn't a fan of her suggestion of Munchausen syndrome because I think it's complete bullshit that Amanda has that. Even though I actually don't even know if I believe in Munchausen, even though it's DSM.
I know you don't, I do, and I've gone over it with you 1,000 times, the reasons why, but I do agree with you. I don't think this girl has it. I
Fair
think
enough.
a lot of people do. I think this girl just conned for money. Like, I do think that she liked attention just because she's one of those people. She has major narcissism, clearly, just to be able to do this. Do you not agree with that? She's like super narcissistic.
No,
She
of
thinks she's like
course.
the best person on earth.
And untouchable.
Yeah, like the way she gives speeches on that stage, I'm like, ew. Like, she really likes herself, clearly. So, of course, she loved the attention, but really, she loved the money. Let's get real.
Yeah, of course. So the DSM says Munchausen, someone who fakes an illness of themselves for sympathy, because like everyone's heard of Munchausen by proxy.
That's when you do it to someone else.
Exactly. So how is that a mental illness?
Because it really is. It's where
So they can't help themselves?
no, I mean, your mind is so fucked that you feel like you need to keep someone sick or yourself sick for love or attention or sympathy. And no, it can be treated though, but it's not, it's very serious. It's like very serious.
All right, I'll take your word for it. I'll give it
Like,
the benefit of
how
the
could,
doubt.
there's no way, like, you're a sane person could just do those things. It's very psychologically fucked. Like, they will even, like, hurt, like, self-injure. Like, they'll really almost kill themselves sometimes just to fabricate.
Maybe not Munchausen syndrome, but do you think Amanda was insane?
I don't think so. No, I don't.
Okay.
I think that she is just a con person, a con man, con woman.
You think she has any type of mental illness?
I think she has narcissism, maybe like, you know what I think she might have? Maybe she has some borderline or something because they're really scared of being abandoned. She seems like the type. She didn't want to be alone, didn't want to be by herself. So maybe something like that, but I don't think that any of that was like the reasoning for this. But, you know,
So you just
what do
think
I know?
it's, yeah, pure grift. I agree.
Yeah, it feels like a grift.
No question about it.
And because she just picked it right back up into the same thing. It just, I feel like, just like once you'll get there, her sentence was very long because the judge decided she would do it again.
Well, you're exactly right. That's what the judge said. I think the maximum she could get was like 20 years, but I think her defense team recommended 6 months, asked for 6 months. The prosecutor recommended 18 months, and then the judge wasn't having any of that shit and gave her 5 years.
Yeah, the judge did not like her.
No, he wasn't
She was
putting up
like,
with it.
yeah, because the judge was like, there's no way this person won't do it again. Just, you could just tell. You could tell by watching just this documentary that she's the type of person that's going to do this again. Even, I think even now, after 5 years, she would probably still do it again.
Like she
What do you
can't help.
think?
Like she can't help herself.
No, that she's a grift. She's like a con person.
I
Like,
think she would do it again, but I think she would have learned from her mistakes and be super smart about it and be like one of those white collar criminals that like makes $1 million, but it's only going to get 6 months
oh,
to
I think
game
she
the system.
probably
No
got
more
better at
wire
it.
fraud. Yeah, exactly. No more internet donations. That game's over.
No,
She probably got
I
better
bet
at it.
you
And
in
she's in jail
prison.
now. We're learning from master criminals.
Yeah, and I bet that she's like conning people in prison. I'm telling you, I bet she has them conned. Like, oh my God, they put me in here and I'm sick. She'll pretend to be sick.
Oh
She'll
my God.
probably get people to give her money. I think that she probably has men sending her money that like fell in love with her because of this. It's creepy, but it happens.
So you think she's getting like sympathy cigarettes and stuff, pretending
Y-
she's got cancer and a baby,
Yes.
getting that extra commissary?
Do you think so?
Yeah, and then like you said, she's probably got dudes like on the hook, like thinking they're in love and shit, putting money in her commissary. She's probably running that prison. Let's be
That's what I'm
honest.
saying. Because
Let's be honest.
Corey Riley
And
divorced her
she's and
immediately,
she's
right?
and she's cute. I hate to say it, but she's cute. She's not like super pretty or anything, but she's prison cute.
Definitely. She's getting banged,
Mm-hmm.
you think?
I think she's doing the banging. I think she's a boss bitch.
Yeah, I mean, let's give it to her. I guess she's pretty smart.
Yeah, she's an evil genius, clearly.
Yeah, I just think she got lazy at the end.
Yeah,
She started doing things that it's too easy to prove. Like, bitch shouldn't come over swimming after brain surgery. You shouldn't talk about like giving yourself chemo injections. Shit like that.
no, because if you do that, you're gonna get fucking raided by the SWAT team at dawn, which is
Yeah,
exactly what they did, which is mind blowing because they treated this like it was fucking Waco.
they did. That was weird, wasn't it? I wasn't expecting that.
No, I don't know what the pre-dawn raid's about.
Yeah, what were they doing? Why couldn't they just go get her at the door? What, like,
I think they were just so pissed at how shitty she was as a person. They just wanted to make this a huge fucking scene.
yeah, maybe for the show.
Yeah, drag her out in cuffs, or maybe they wanted to fucking catch her on
Like,
like resisting arrest or something.
like she wasn't dangerous without guns in the house, right? She was just a woman doing a grift. So why were they like standing around the house with all these
No,
guns and
she's the opposite of dangerous, right? She's like strapped in a hospital bed with fake IVs in her.
yeah.
Damn.
Do you think the husband got tired of her? What do you think about that?
I mean, that's
Do
a
you,
huge charade to pull
for
off.
years doing this.
Nah, he
Like,
seems like a scumbag too. He
well,
seems like
that's
he
what
was
his ex-wife
living off
said.
the money.
Yeah, I agree. His ex-wife Alita was the one that he had a child with her. And do you know what he told everyone
What?
in the megachurch?
What?
That his child Jessa with the other woman came from just a one night stand, and that's how it happened. He made a mistake. It was a one night stand. He never saw the woman again, and that's his kid now. But this he was married to her for 2.5 years.
That's crazy.
Why would you say that? So
He's a
he's an asshole too.
he's a liar too. Maybe lying's contagious. Shit rubbed off on him.
They just were a good pair.
They just feed off each other. Like when two narcissistic psychopaths hook up and get together, like watch out, shit's gonna explode.
Yeah, you're right.
Like the Ken and Barbie killers, which we're definitely gonna cover in a
Oh,
future
fuck
episode.
yeah. That's our
Fuck
favorite
yeah.
thing.
It's so crazy, but it just shows you how psychopaths can feed off each other and how crazy it
You're
can get.
right.
This was
Because,
happened to be a white collar crime, but
yeah, on your own, it's kind of hard, but if you have someone like egging you on,
kind of like us. You always get me to do bad shit by egging me on.
exactly. Same thing. I'm looking at her face right now. I had to go back because you said she was cute, so I had to look at her. Sometimes she had dark brown hair and sometimes she had blonde.
Yeah. Like I said, she's prison cute.
She's mixing it up.
Well, yeah, I mean, chemo really does a number on your hair color.
Stop.
What an asshole.
I can't believe her.
Of all the shitty things to do. And it's not like the people she stole from had unlimited money. The people she stole from, like, that was
Regular
probably,
people.
yeah, and that was probably money that they would have given to like St. Jude's or like a legitimate cancer charity. So
The one woman,
that money's gone.
the one poor lady from the church was just giving her blood and plasma to her all the time 'cause she had no money.
Oh, that's right.
How
So
sad is that?
she was stealing blood and plasma?
Yeah.
Wow.
And what was she doing with that?
Oof, I have no idea. Maybe she was taking infusions or something?
Selling it.
You think she was selling it?
Yeah, you don't do just a transfusion. You know how dangerous that is? You don't just do a
What
transfusion.
is she doing? She got an Etsy store?
Blood store?
Blood store and Etsy?
I don't know, dude. I'm looking right
Didn't
now.
you used to have a friend that kept bags of blood in the fridge?
Oh, are we talking about Ed? You always think it's
I
bags of blood.
swear. I
All
swear
it
one
was
time I looked in the
needles.
fridge and there was a bag of blood, but
Our friend Eddie is a hemophiliac, so he kept needles in the fridge with medication to inject himself, but never bags of blood, you freak.
maybe
You
I was
made
just
that up,
so skeeved out by the needles. I
maybe.
imagined bags of blood.
I want to know if she's dating someone.
Like prison dating.
Yeah.
I think we should write to her because she actually started her sentence in 2022. So if she does the full 5-year term, she'll be in there till 2027.
So she talks to the girl from the Scamanda podcast all the time.
Yeah, so let's have her talk to the Murder Man podcast.
Yeah, and just give us an update on her health and see if she's okay.
Yeah, see what she's been up to.
Yeah, see if she still has cancer. Um, see if she talks to her ex-husband Corey and her kids, and if she's dating in prison.
How many boyfriends do you think she has?
I think that she has boyfriends to keep herself up in prison. Like,
Yeah,
that's why.
what is up with these people who fall in love with prisoners and marry them?
Don't you think that's a fetish?
That I think might be a mental illness
It's a fetish too.
because that shit is just whack.
Think about the women who fall in love with serial killers.
Yeah.
What do you think that is going to happen to you when they get out and you're in love with a serial killer? Would you not be so afraid?
Yeah, or what about the ones that are never getting out? Like, why would you just want to be in that type of relationship? So you can tell your friends you're dating Richard Ramirez?
Yeah, some people say it's because they get like semi-famous with them, but they never do. You know, they want the fame from it, but like, do you ever hear about, like you said, his girlfriend?
No, you can't name one serial killer wife, not even one. No one can.
No. Oh my God, that's nuts. I want to talk to serial killers too.
How would we go about that? Like, should we start writing tons of letters?
I think can't you write a letter to anyone in prison? Isn't that the thing?
But I think you have to write a letter. I looked and like Scott Peterson is not on Instagram or anything, which
I
is
know
a bummer.
that
I thought for sure he'd be on IG.
I don't think it's not even social media. You can write people letters to the prison. So now the prisoners can they have iPads every now and then that they can go on and check their emails, and they're like, to see if anyone wrote to them.
What? They get email?
Yeah, you can, yes. So it's not like it's like a messaging system, not like an email exactly.
We got to get on Amanda Riley's newsletter list for sure.
Yeah, you just write in and they get their iPads once a week to write people back or whatever.
So how do we do this? Like, how would we actually go about that? How are you going to get their email address? Is it like first name dot last name at?
Listen, it's not like that. It's a messaging system. So I'm going to ask my mom because, when my uncle just went to jail?
Yeah.
He goes to jail a lot. Even in jail, they have a messaging system, and she starts getting text messages from some random iPad from jail asking for money for commissary.
He's even bothering her in jail.
On an iPad.
That's crazy.
So yeah, they have these things. We can do this.
We've got to do this.
Let me ask you this. Wonder how many people reach out to someone like Amanda Riley?
I think not a lot. I think there's probably a lot of hate mail.
Okay, but since she had the Hulu thing came out, I bet you people were trying to get interviews.
You're probably right. So why would she do Murder Man?
So we have to reach out and just make it sound great.
Yeah, we'll probably have to pull a fast one on her, make it think like we're on her side.
Yeah, and hopefully she doesn't listen to this episode before she says yes.
Oh, no, I don't think she's listening. She's one of our 20 followers on IG.
But when you ask someone to do something, they go back and look at what you've done. I just wonder how much.
How many iPad minutes is she going to have?
I don't know. We have to Google this. How much
Let's just,
time
yo,
do prisoners get on the internet?
yeah, how much screen time?
Yeah, per day.
I say we run the ultimate con on her and we come up with a fake podcast that we do where we like hear their side of the story and we just go in there and fucking gotcha
Yeah,
journalism this bitch.
I like that. And even if we just read an email from her would be cool if she didn't want to talk, but she would write us. That's fine.
That's
It
fine.
says they have a few hours a day, strictly monitored though, educational research, contacting family through filtered emails, with many prisons providing no internet access at all. Depends on the security. So I don't know where she is. We'll have to check.
I'm sure that's easy to find out. It's I'm almost certain it's federal. Yeah, it is federal prison. So that
Yeah,
should be
but I'm
like
telling
in a
you,
database.
they can get on the internet sometimes.
Do you ever send your uncle money for screen time?
I've sent my uncle money in prison for like snacks and things. Yes,
Yeah.
not prison. He was in jail. That's different.
Commissary.
Yeah, like for ramen noodles and stuff like that.
I wonder if prison food's expensive. You think that shit's expensive?
No, well, I mean, I
It's
guess
got to
it
be
can
more
add
than
up.
like it's got to be more than like ramen runs you at the grocery store.
Actually, I'm not sure about that. Like, you know what? When Randy, my uncle, was in jail, he you could buy these packages. Like, there was this one called like meat something, and it had those things called Slim Jims.
Yeah?
Those Okay, so it had like a bunch of those and like meat kind of
Shut
stuff
the
like
fuck
that.
up. It's like buying a meal on Delta?
Yes, like that, like a package, and it was like $59.99 for this package of
Oh
all these like
my
weird
God.
meat snacks
A gift basket.
like that. Yeah.
Wow.
So we got him that once, and we got him 2 t-shirts, some socks. Like, you can buy things like that.
Oh, he must have loved that. Must have been a pretty popular guy with all his meat sticks.
Oh my God. I'm sure he tried to trade that for something.
You think it's easy to get drugs in jail? Probably.
Not jail, but prison. Yeah.
Prison,
Way,
yeah.
yeah. Jail is very locked down and dirty. Like, a lot of people, I know this sounds crazy, but a lot of people say they'd rather be in prison than jail.
Well, what I didn't realize about jail until I started watching 60 Days In was that everyone goes to jail before they go to prison. So it's everything from like murderers
Oh, yeah.
to drug dealers and all that stuff, to
Mhm.
white collar criminals, all intermingled in like typically like these open dormitory style things. So that seems
Well, you're
like it's
like,
next level dangerous.
held in jail before you get taken to prison.
Yeah.
hmm
But to your point, I think prison's probably a little more controlled,
It is, yeah.
a little less
And
wild.
yeah, and you can, like, commissary wise and things like that, you can get more stuff. Jail's very limited. And say you went into jail and you're on drugs, right? Say you're withdrawing from something. They let you lay there and just basically, if you die, you die. They just let you lay there and withdraw and sweat all over yourself, and just, it's really sad how they treat addicts,
Yeah, that
I think.
sucks. We definitely need criminal justice reform in this country.
Yeah. Don't you think they should give them some sort of medical access
I don't
when they're
think they
going through
should be in
that?
prison. I think they should be in rehab health facilities.
Agree. I think our prisons should all be leaning towards rehabilitation and not punishment.
Who do we talk to, Amanda?
Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian. We can tweet Elon. Isn't your husband friends with Elon online?
I mean, they seem to be buddying it up some.
As long as Daniel doesn't start wearing the priest collar.
No, but I think that he could talk to Elon if he wanted to. He kind of Elon will retweet him every now and then, which
Interesting.
is funny, right?
Yeah.
The man who's running our country. I think he's our like secret president.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's a bad thing.
Mm,
But
I don't.
what's the other alternative?
I don't know, man. It's all so scary to me right now. Shit's happening. I don't even know what's going on. Everyone's getting fired in the world.
I'm on a news blackout. I don't read any about that.
You shouldn't.
I'm just into like stories like Scamanda Riley, shit like that.
Exactly. Let's stay on the fun side of shit.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, man. Forget the news. If something really important needs to happen, you'll hear about it.
Yeah. I'll hear about it from Daniel downstairs. So.
Oh my God. I know. I felt like we were getting a little political. I was kind of starting. I was kind of starting to feel like Daniel.
Oh, for a second, but we were just talking about Elon. But other than that, no, this podcast is not that.
Nah, we hate everybody.
Yeah, we hate everybody, and we are into criminals. So
That sounds like such a weird thing to say.
we don't like anyone, but we really like to talk about criminals and true crime.
Yeah, for sure.
You would agree with that, right?
Yeah, but I don't think that we like the criminals. Like, I'm not like a fan of Jeff Dahmer, but I find it interesting as fuck.
I find it interesting psychologically.
Yeah, well, that's the
yeah.
part that I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Man, I am
That's
off
the
tonight.
part. No, you're not. That's the part that gets me is what goes on in these people's brains to be able to do what they do. And just like with Scamanda, we're saying is there something wrong with her, or does she have a diagnosis, or is she just an asshole? And I have come to the conclusion thus far, right now, that she's just an asshole.
Well, the judge also reached that same conclusion because she recently filed a motion to reduce her sentencing because she's been clinically diagnosed with Munchausen syndrome.
No way.
Yeah, and the judge like completely denied that. So,
What?
big
I didn't
ups,
see that.
big ups to Dr. Judy Ho for calling that out.
Holy shit. Is that like something that just came out?
Do you think we could get an interview with Dr. Judy Ho considering we know her sister?
Yes, of course.
Oh my God, let's do it.
Okay, what are we going to talk to her about?
I
We
don't
have to
know.
have a case.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with a good case.
Okay, that's fine. I'll let you do the interviewing.
And what are you going to do?
Sit back and relax.
Just chime in with some comic relief?
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, I think that what we do next is we email Scamanda.
We've got to.
Let's do it tonight.
Should I be a fake love interest?
Yes.
Like, oh, hey.
Oh my God.
Hey, girl. Hey, I saw your documentary. You looking fly as fuck.
Guys, if you're watching it, listening to this, do you think Andy should be the fake love interest? Because that's 100% happening.
Yeah, we don't care what you think. We're totally going to do that.
Yeah, it was just a dumb question. But for real, that's happening.
I mean, gosh, I haven't dated in so long. My game is so weak.
You're married.
Well,
Are you going to ask her if it's okay?
I probably should, huh?
Nah, she'll be into it.
She's
I know
cool.
her.
She's cool.
She's going to laugh her ass off.
She just loves all the shade and the tea and all that stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
she'll be into it.
Okay, I'm going to
Oh
say,
my
how
God.
do you
This
write
is-
to Amanda Riley in prison?
This is so fun. I can't wait. What if I actually get feelings for her?
Then I'll never talk to you again.
I'm just saying, like, you get yourself in those situations and, it's like being an undercover agent. Like, sometimes you get so sucked into the operation,
God.
the mission.
And she's really good at what she does.
She could definitely fool me over.
Ugh, it would be so easy, actually.
But to fool me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Let's
know.
see. Let's see. I'm looking her up. I'm seeing how we're going to talk to her. Department of Justice. How do we get to her? Anyway, do you want to talk to Scamanda and I'll get her email and you can write her?
Yeah, I want to holler at her.
Okay, but you can't back out of that. It's already on. It's on the podcast, so you can't back out.
No, I mean, if we said it, it's got to happen.
Okay, I'm going to find it. All right, guys, tune in for Murder Man, Scamanda Part 2, probably next week.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
All right, peace out.
Man podcast, Andy got the facts, Amanda spitting fast, delve into the night, mysteries unfold, cold cases sitting deep, not a story told. Serial killers lurking in the shadows, they creep. Amanda's got the files, secrets she keep. Andy dissecting, forensic on the mic, every episode hits, spine chilling like a knife. Murder Man podcast, voices in the dark, solving every puzzle piece, never miss the mark. Andy and Amanda, truth they unmask, tune in every week for the twisted task. On the trail of a killer, blood runs cold. Eyewitness tales and legends old. Amanda breaking down clues piece by piece. Sandy putting it together, never seeing peace. Whispers in the wind, serial mind unfazed. Evidence presented, audience amazed. Grim tales of murder, heartbreaking loss. Andy and Amanda, the duo, no one's boss. Murder Man Podcast, voices in the dark. Solving every puzzle piece, never miss the mark. Andy and Amanda, truth they unmask. Tune in every week for the twisted task. Murder Man Podcast, twisted task. Tune into the crime, Murder Man Podcast.
For the twisted task.
Murder Man Podcast, voices in the dark. Solving every puzzle piece, never miss the mark. Andy and Amanda, truth they unmask. Tune in every week for the twisted task.
Every week for the twisted task.